You may be asking yourself, why in the world is Professor Sadler asking me to send an email and giving me all these instructions about it? Well, I'm going to show you a couple of examples of real-life emails that I've received, and I want you to notice the difference in the impressions you get from both of them. So this example, you see that this is directed to me. There is no subject line here, so there's nothing to tell me what this message is concerning other than what student it's from. All right, hey, I need to see you about my fall schedule. Can I come by at 10 o'clock tomorrow? Now, I've received emails like this from some of my advisees, and they will send these on 5:30 p.m. the day before. Not something that's likely to get a response and set an appointment by 10 o'clock the next morning. Here's a second example of typical emails I might receive from students. Again, I would see the student's name when I see the email, but then I would get a subject line like question, which really doesn't tell me much about the subject of the email. Then I get no address to me at all, no proper punctuation, and it says, are we supposed to do the assignment in MLA? Now, I'm good, but I'm not a mind reader, so I don't know which assignment it is. I don't know what class this student is enrolled in, and so it makes it impossible for me to give a good response. Plus, think about the impression that an email like this is making, particularly if you're an online student and we haven't met in person. And here is an actual example that I received just this past semester from one of my students. You'll see here that in the subject line it tells me exactly what the question or what the email is going to be about, the final presentation issue. She greets me by name with my title, tells me her name, which class she is enrolled in, and she gives that pleasantry, that greeting. I hope you're having a great day. Then she states exactly what the business is of her message, and notice that she goes to a new line. I'm having trouble with Moodle when trying to submit my PowerPoint presentation. A message states that the file is too large. Okay. Then she's got more information rather than crowding it all into another section here. She makes a separate line. I previously sent you the link on YouTube, but I am unsure of how to finish with Moodle. And then she gives me a call to action, what she wants me to do with this information. Please advise at your earliest convenience. And she closes, thank you, and then gives me her name. Now think about this email compared with the first two that you saw, and which one presents a better image of the student. You haven't met any of the students who sent these emails, yet you have different impressions of them already just based on what you've seen. Here's an example of an email I sent just last week to the financial aid office. Again, notice the subject line. I'm telling her that one of my advisees has an issue with a financial aid email that was sent out. So I start with a greeting, good morning. I mentioned before that I use a lot of emojis. I give that pleasant greeting. I hope your adjustment back to campus life has been a smooth transition. And then I move into the specific information. In this case, it's the background information that I need her to know so that I can get the response that I need. So I tell her, I have received the attached message from one of my advisees. I give her the student name and ID number regarding a financial aid termination notice she received via email earlier this week. Rather than simply refer her to your office, I would like to understand her situation in order to advise her accurately. So I've let her know all the specifics about the student, what the particular questions are that I have, and why I am asking. Next subject, can you explain to me why her financial aid benefits were terminated and if there are any steps she can take to reinstate them? She just completed an AA degree but has also been accepted into the nursing program for fall 2020. And then I give up a closing. Thanks in advance for your assistance with this matter. So I'm letting her know that I want a response as quickly as possible, and I am thanking her for her time. And then you'll notice that I have a signature set up. It has my name, it has my title, the location, my phone, and my email. Many people neglect to set up a signature, and that's something you need to do if you haven't already. Some people like to personalize them even further and put a quote that they particularly like, maybe something that speaks to your life in some way. But you do need to have that signature as part of your email. So again, think about if you were on the receiving end of this email, as opposed to if I'd said something to this financial aid officer, something like, "Hey, one of my advisees got an email about her financial aid. Can you tell me what those are about?" So again, I think you'll start to see why a professional email is important.